In this lesson, we will be learning about something called the Hamza Wasli, that is, the joining Hamza. Now, if a blank alif is the first letter of a word, it is pronounced by adding a stroke to it using the following rules. If the first letter is an alif followed by a lam, then a fatha is always added to that alif or to that Hamza. For example, the first example we show here is the word allati. Now, on this Hamza or on this alif, there is no stroke, but because of the fact that it comes with a lam, we always add the fatha to it. So we pronounce this as allati. And the same thing in the second example, whenever we see an alif that is with the lam and the alif is blank, then we always have to add the fatha to it. And this example will be read as alladhina. Now, if a word starts with only an alif without a lam, then we always have to look at the third stroke of the word, and that stroke will determine what stroke we have to place on that Hamza Wasli. For example, if the third stroke is a dhamma, then we will add a dhamma to the alif or to the Hamza. And this is the first example that we give. The word is unsur. And in order to know that we have to place a dhamma on the alif, we always have to look at the third stroke. So in this word, the first letter is the alif, the second letter is the noon, and the third letter is the sad. Now the stroke on the sad is a dhamma. And because the stroke on the sad is a dhamma, and that is the third stroke, therefore we have to place the dhamma onto the alif. And we pronounce this as unsur. If the third stroke is either a fatha or a kasra, then a kasra will be placed on that alif. Now, we give two examples of this. The first one is the word iftah. Now, the first letter, which is the alif, that is blank. Now we have to determine which stroke we have to place on this Hamza. The second letter is a fa, and the third letter is a ta, that has a fatha on it. Now, because the ta, which is the third letter, has a fatha on it, we have to place a kasra on the Hamza. This is why we pronounce this as iftah. We do not say aftah or uftah. The proper way is iftah. And the second example we give of this is the word igfir. The first letter is alif, the second letter is a ghain, and the third letter is a fa. Now, the rule is that we always look at the third letter and we see what stroke it has. In this case, the fa has a kasra. Therefore, the rule being that if the third stroke is either a fatha or a kasra, we will place the kasra underneath the Hamza Wasli.